I got bad news for you.
We just started. How could you possibly have bad news? Now you're shushing me. Now you're shushing me.
Pop broke my microphone arm.
You broke? What do you mean you broke it?
That's why it's kind of propped here on Chully.
Are you kidding me?
I might have gotten a little medieval on it.
What did you do?
So listen, what this means is you have to come visit Pop and help me fix.
This is ridiculous. You're breaking things? We don't have a budget for this.
Help fix. Welcome back to Talking Story. Hey, my name is John Minton, and that right there is my literary wingman and my tech support. He's going to come this week and help me fix this control arm right here. This one right here that I don't know what happened. He's coming this week, though, right?
I don't know.
That is a child of happiness. He's not letting me down. He's going to be here this week. The heir to the Talking Story throne, best producer on BookTube. Says so on bathroom walls everywhere. That right there is Jakob.
It does. I probably will be coming this week to fix your mic stand because I can't deal with something not being correct in that studio.
Maybe we can do some rearranging or something while you're here. Fix some things up.
Did you break more stuff? What do we need to fix?
We have things to do. Let's get into it.
Okay, let's
just get into it. Hey, first of all, I just want to I just want to let everybody know this is June.
Yes.
This is your birthday month.
It is.
So we're very excited about that. And this is the month we are bringing Town Square back. So there will be a Town Square this month.
Yes. For those that are on the Patreon, any level on the Patreon, we'll talk more about that later. But there is a post on Patreon of how to submit to Town Square. So check that if you want to submit this month.
Check it out. Please do. We would love you to be a part. We're bringing it back this 1 month. Midway through the year, we kind of want to check in everybody this way. We're very excited about that.
Yeah. I'm sure it will be a 2-hour-long video. I'm looking forward to it.
Well... it might be.
It might be. It'll be a blast. I can't wait.
We've been away this long. And I also wanted to say, look, Discovery is out.
Been out for half a month now.
Been out for a couple weeks. Look, this is amazing. We're hearing so many people are enjoying it. And I just can't even tell you what it means. And if you've picked it up, thank you from the bottom. We so much appreciate it. If you've read it, if you can, hit Goodreads, hit Amazon, even more important. Leave a quick rating, leave a quick review. Your honest thoughts, of course. And just thank you so much for taking the ride with us.
Yeah. And thanks to the wonderful people on the Tutor Ramble Discord for wanting to put together a community book club for it. So if you want to do a read along with some people, head over to the Tutor Ramble Discord. They got all kinds of good stuff on there. But if you want to do a read-along for Discovery, that's on there too. Yeah,
that's going to be great. And I think we'll be a part of that discussion with everybody.
Yeah. At the end of the club, when everyone's done reading it, we'll have a big call. And you, me, and Mom, I think we'll be on there if Mom is available. And just hang out with everybody. Talk through the book. Yeah,
it's going to be great. So look, this past weekend, I was at ConCarolinas all weekend.
You were. How did it go?
I got one story I got to tell you. I have to tell you this story.
Okay.
Of what happened in ConCarolinas.
I called to ask you earlier about how it was. Have you been saving this story?
This happened today.
Oh, okay.
It happened the last day. I had my 2 hours at the feature author table, have my books out there, and this gentleman comes by, and he has been hitting cons like for decades. Huge fan, hitting cons for decades, and loves to meet new authors and pick up new projects. And comes by and he's heard about the book and he wants to pick this up. And it's like, oh man, awesome. I'm talking to him. And he's like, my family, we make this jewelry out of these stones from all over the world. And I want to give you this stone from Madagascar because each stone, look at it in the light, see how it looks. Each stone is completely different, just like each story is different. And I'm just meeting you. I'm just going to take your story. So I want to give you this stone. And we had a talk, and he picked up a copy of our book and everything. And then he came back. Now get this. This is what blew me away. This is a lovely, lovely man named Dino. He came back, and he has like this. It's leather bound, and it's got handles. And it's like he said, I've got this is what I've been doing for all the cons I've ever gone to. This is my dictionary of sci-fi.
Whoa.
And every time I meet a new author, I get him to sign my dictionary. Would you want to sign? It's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? So he opens up this dictionary and he pulls it to the M page so I can sign it.
Uh-huh.
And he starts showing me other signatures of this book that he's kept for decades from Ray Bradbury.
You're kidding.
George R.R. Martin. Like, think of a name, and it's the signature is in the dictionary from all the authors he have met and touched and been at a con and picked their book up, and now we're in that book.
Wow, man, what a guy!
It made my whole con, blew me away, made my whole con, man.
Now I wish I was there.
You would have been knocked out. It was amazing. It was so amazing.
Cool.
So Dino, thank you so much for coming up and just making my con. I hope you enjoy the ride. I hope you love it, my brother. I really, really do.
Yeah, absolutely. To be even in somebody's book next to the likes of Bradbury and George R.R. Martin is crazy.
And just so many others. Like I swear, you flipping through it. It's like, think of a name. It's in there. It was unbelievable. Absolutely. I met so many amazing people, so many indie authors, so many just new friends, and it was just a great weekend. Thanks to everyone at ConCarolinas. I got to moderate some panels and hang out with everybody. It was just a really, really great weekend.
Wow, man. That's awesome. I
Yeah.
hope I get to be there in the next one. I'm sure we're going back next year.
Yeah, you should plan for it next year to totally, like,
Yeah.
put that weekend aside. I know you're really busy, but it was a great time.
Yeah, I'd love to go. That'd be cool.
Definitely great time. And we got WorldCon to look forward to.
And we do have, I'm very much looking forward to that. Is that August, I think?
August. You, me, August, Seattle. We're doing it. We're hitting WorldCon.
Love it.
I think that's all the kind of updates and announcements we got, unless you got something. Don't let us down. What do you got?
I mean, most of the stuff I have is just stuff that I read. I had a pretty good week.
Yeah. I guess for the people that, we should say there's no more on the audiobook front right now. Casting, we're still waiting for confirmation on all that.
Still
what
chugging
we can
forward
say
on
is we're still chugging forward on plotting meetings for book 2.
Book 2 is going going very well. I can't wait for this stuff to come out. I mean, the only thing that I can say to tease people about it is that
it's crazier. That's what I would say.
It's crazier. And for those that liked book 1, I would say remember I feel like we've said it 1,000 times now, but for those that don't know, we wrote book 3 first accidentally and then had to back up and write another book, which ended up being book 1 and book 2. It was way too long. And then we came back and wrote what is now Discoveries book 1. The reason we did that was because there was just so much backstory to get out of the way so that you could be familiar with the world and the characters so that we could get to the crazier stuff later. So now we're getting to the crazier stuff.
It's getting crazy. It's getting fun.
I'm so excited.
Oh, me too, man. It is a blast. So let's get into what we've been reading this week. You want to kick us off? Because I know you have had a good reading week.
I've had a great week. And I enjoyed every bit of it. Starting off
That's
with
what I want to hear.
All these lovely copies of One Piece that you let me borrow. That's not the cover.
So how far? Did you get all the way up to 9?
I got all the way up to 9. I finished volume 9.
So, tell me about that moment. Tell me about that moment.
Well, I don't want to give spoilers, but here, I feel like everyone
but it hits,
builds
right?
it up. It hits. Everyone builds it up. Oh man, volume 9's emotional. You're gonna, really, this is when things start to kind of, you really get to see what One Piece can be in volume 9.
And I think even this is the baby steps, the first baby steps.
Yes,
as you
absolutely.
go on. Yeah.
And I think I was going into it ready for that. And I think kind of at the end of volume 8, I was like, oh, I think I know what's going on here. And no, I did.
Oh, okay.
And it was like, okay, yes, I knew that was going to happen. And then it just kept going.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say what happens, but it kept getting worse. Like things just kept getting worse. And then it ended in such a way that was like, it's just a testament to Oda of how skilled you have to be to almost like dig this deep well of despair and have your readers follow you all the way down.
Yeah.
And then within like 3 manga pages, which like takes 15 seconds to read, you're back out of that hole and ready to go, oh, I can't. This is going to be such a big next moment, and I'm here for every bit of it.
Yeah, right. Arlong Park is great.
Yeah.
Like it's that feeling of, oh my gosh, I thought I saw some backstory, but I really didn't see backstory, and now I really do, and now the crew is solid, and I'm ride or die with them, and these high moments are just high moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And exactly like I said, like I'm not giving any spoilers again, obviously, but I feel like the character that I had the least attachment to was Nami. She was so in the background, and then by the end of 9, it's like,
I'm all about
Nami my favorite character.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because there's just so much more going on. But I think, in a weird way, this has kind of shown me more of what I like about reading. Like I getting more and more into reading now, and being able to come here week after week and talk about what I read for the first time in my life. This is the most I've ever read at any point in my life at once. I think that this is helping me find out what I like. And getting to the end of volume 9 of One Piece is like, oh, I think one of my favorite flavors of a story is when an author or any storyteller is really able to create a world that has a wide spectrum of emotion. They're not able to just capture grimdark. They're not able to just capture wholesome moments, but there's those moments where I'm trusting this artist and I'm going to follow them into this pit of despair and just trust blindly that they're going to be able to pull me out of it. And they do. And it's remarkable to watch or read.
Yeah.
So I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm totally with you. When you step back and think about the breadth of this fantasy world that Oda's created, right?
Yeah. And there were moments that's like, oh, are we just, I guess the mission right now is to go to the Grand Line. That's cool. That's all I need to know. And then you get, well, here's the map and here's the course around and here's why it works this way. And there are these crews that work with the Navy and things can be a little corrupt sometimes. We'll maybe explore that later. And it's like, oh, there's way more going on here than I thought.
Yeah, and wait till you get to the Grand Line. Even that expands at that point.
Yeah, I would imagine.
And the corruption that you're talking about that's like this deep look at leadership and roles and how it can be done in different fashions and different ways and what's more effective. And there's so much going on.
I think that's why, for me, the reason that volume 9 was so effective, which is like we're not only getting this really tragic event that happened to this character, but it's also it's doing double duty. We're getting closer to this character. We're pitting ourselves deep into the reason that these people need to be a team and have to be there for each other.
A found
family. And now we're also getting the extra duty of, man, if you're not a pirate, you just can't win. Like every institution is out to get you. There is no safety net anywhere in this world for you. Unless you just take it upon yourself to, I'm going to be a pirate and steal. That's the only way to live a fruitful life, really.
But it's even, and then you have your definition of stealing, your definition of what treasure is, and all these things kind of become into flux of what being a pirate really means. Is staking out space for your identity and space for those around you in your identity as a found family. It's like it's a really beautiful look at what that means and what that is.
Maybe you're forced to be a pirate, but you can do it your way.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's all about doing it your way.
Absolutely.
And living your dreams and not giving up your way. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I'm digging it.
I'm digging it too. I think I've got my planned reads for the rest of the year, and I think anytime I'm between one and another, I'll pick up 2 or 3 copies of One Piece and blaze through them as quick as I can because it was just so
Yeah.
much fun to get through them.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, we'll swap out. I mean, you bring back those, and we'll swap you out with the next stack of.
Yeah, because you have up to 24, something like that.
I've got up to 24.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. So I'll
and
borrow.
I finished up to 17, so we can, you that way you have them, and when you can just pull something in between, you got a little extra time.
Yeah.
You've got them there.
And it was probably good that I didn't have volume 10 from you because I probably would have picked it up.
No doubt.
But of course,
But you had something else on the list.
I had to get to my birthday read. I don't have the dust jacket on it. Janie Wartz's Ships of Merior.
Yeah. Talk to me. This was what you set aside for your birthday month for yourself.
And I'm so glad that I did. I'm only about 50 pages in, which is saying something for me because the text is somewhat small and I started it like 6 hours ago. So I'm flying through it quicker than I thought. And the first thing that came to mind was I don't know if it's that Janie is constructing her prose in a way that is a little easier to blaze through and grasp, or if I'm just getting more used to it.
I think it's the latter. I don't think she's pulling back at all. Mm-hmm. I think we're just, like I say, it's transportive. And now, but what I found is when by the time I hit Ships of Merior, particularly by the time I hit Warhost, I'm comfortable being a denizen of Ethera. Like I'm comfortable, and I can live in this world and just go through this prose way faster and soak in just as much,
And comfortable is the perfect way to put it, because it being in Ethera really feels like comfort food to me at this point. And there were moments that there were like some side characters that their names popped up and they were starting to talk a bit. And I was like, I don't quite remember who you are. I had to look it up on the Paravia wiki. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And that's just doing something like that used to be a kind of, being in Ethera to me feels so atmospheric and enveloping that it's so fleshed out that the only thing I can compare it to is I remember when like Red Dead Redemption 2 came out and you got the option to just like, I'm not going to use a map. I'm going to turn off the mini map. I'm going to have no HUD. I'm just going to follow the signs. Yeah. And to me, that was like, that sounds like a waste of time. That sounds like so much work to try and enjoy this world. Yeah. And here it works flawlessly.
Perfectly. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
This is the only time I have ever in my life read a fantasy book where townships or kingdoms or regions pop up that people are talking about, and I'll actually flip back to the map and look at where it is. Mm-hmm. Because politically, it matters. Everything is so chain reactive and nothing is forgotten. That, this person wants to do this. That's their motivation. Well, and just because they want to do that, now this happens in these 4 different townships, and this kingdom's upset because that messes up their plans. And it's like, this world is so unbelievably full that even when we're in a chapter from one person's POV, all of those people are still listening. Yeah. And these side characters you think are side characters, like, absolutely nothing is wasted. Right. Absolutely nothing is wasted. And there's full arcs when you get to the end of Ships of Merior, and it's a satisfying end. And then when you get to the end of Warhost, you're like, oh, the arcs of some of these characters that we have and what's going on and where this is going and how it's being just added onto layer by layer by layer of this Jenga tower, and it's no way it doesn't make my favorite list. Just no way. It is without a doubt going to be on my favorite series of all time. Like, no question. Yeah. And I think there's technically 14 chapters in it. Each one is like 35-ish pages. So I'm thinking if I do a chapter a day, it'll take me about 2 weeks. which gives me plenty of lead up time to the end of the month if I miss a day or, don't read as much as I wanted to one day. So I should have it done before the end of the month and be able to get a few One Piece volumes in there at the end.
Amazing. Great month for you, man. I'm excited for you.
I can't wait. What a beginning Ships of Merior has in the first 50 pages that I've read. I'm loving it.
Dude, just wait. You ain't seen nothing.
I'm sure
you ain't seen nothing yet. It's what I will say, because I don't want to spoil anything for you, but in the beginning, it just seems like Erathon's kind of moving from place to place, and it's like, just like where the wind takes him a little bit, or what. No, no, it all comes together, dude. Like
man.
Everything's for a reason. Like it's you're going to be so happy.
Janny, the perfect writer.
Just a quick break in the action to thank all of our correspondents, directors, and producers on Patreon. These people keep the lights on. They make decisions for us because we don't know what we're doing. We're not great at making the decisions around here. The decisions all the way from what I'm going to read next, what the book club of the month Patreon pick is going to be, but all the way up to video ideas and what we're going to do here on the channel coming up for you. If you're interested or you want to find out how you can be a part of this, right down there in the description box, click the Patreon link. It's got all the answers for you. And once again, thank you to all of these fine people that are helping us build the channel, our correspondents, directors, and producers.
What about you? What do you got going this past week?
I had my last read for May, and this is a buddy read with, I think we're going to be over on Jake's channel, Nerd Level Rising, and I'm pretty sure Dr. Chase and Chance Dillon, and I'm probably missing somebody, but we're going to have a big discussion about James Islington's Will of the Many. Now, I finished this book. This was my last read for May, and I did knock it out before the 1st of June. And I liked it a really good deal. Here's what I think. I think it might have had one of those situations where it was like built up pretty big for me. Like some people were like, this was my favorite book of last year or like year before. Like, oh man, this was like, it's going to be one of my favorite series of all time, favorite book of the year. And it's like, I went into like, oh, this is, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I like read it really quickly because it does have that page turner kind of effect for you. And what I will say is a lot of it is like, it is that orphan gets called up, becomes orphan tragically, gets called up, and goes to this type of school in this Roman-influenced fantasy world. And we've all seen that. Harry Potter.
A story we've seen before several times.
Dude, there's so many of them. Now, this is executed very, very, very well. And it hits every beat of that story that you would think is coming at you, right?
Yeah.
And it starts to lull you into this false sense of security. You start to like, okay, well, yeah, no, this is really cool. I'm really getting into this book. I'm really into this character's journey and seeing where it goes. And, make some friends. Oh, that's not really a friend. You think that's a friend, but oh, that could be a friend, And then you start discovering something about this world. And the world is very interesting in that it's very stratified. It is a caste system. And think about a pyramid, and the ones on the bottom are going to cede their will to be a part of this civilization.
Right.
Right? To be a citizen, I'm going to cede my will. Now, this might take 10, 15 years off my life because I'm ceding my will to those above me in this social strata so they can have unbelievable powers and abilities. And what they'll do with those powers and ability is they'll expand the empire. They'll make sure we have mass transit. They'll make sure we have food. They'll make sure we have a series of laws and a senate and things. All of these things will be taken care of. And I'll be able to go about my, maybe not as great of a daily life as the stratas above me, but I can go about my daily life and be be secure and have a place. So it really starts to come to question. You start to question certain things, not only about this world, but you start to question certain things about your own world. How comfortable am I? Maybe, are there questions I should be asking? And I love it when a book does that. It starts to bleed over, right? And this does a really good job of that. So you kind of get this false sense of security, and then you start getting these deeper and deeper questions, and you start getting these questions about how absolute power could absolutely corrupt, absolutely, right? It's like the further up of the strata, and the mysteries abound as you go further and further up. Who's really pulling the strings? Who's really in control? What's really going on? And then in the midst of this, you have a mystery, because this, again, an orphan, I'm not going to spoil where he comes from, but it does begin with a tragedy. And he plucked out of obscurity somewhat by a senator and adopted by this senator who has a mystery he wants to solve himself about a family tragedy that he has. So he's going to throw this adoptee into like this boiling cauldron of danger and put himself on the line and say, okay, I'll make sure you're taken care of, but you find answers for me at this school. So it's like it's kind of operating on a couple different levels. He's in the school. He's operating in the school for himself, trying to move his way up, trying to do good, trying to make friends, trying to downplay the enemies he's made, and at the same time solve this mystery that he's there, because if he doesn't solve this mystery, the senator that plucked him out of obscurity and threw him in this bubbling cauldron can make his life a living hell.
Right.
So there's several layers, and then on top of that, the whole world layer that causes you to question things. Now, so this is absolutely executed just beautifully and just wonderfully, but it's still this sense of security, like, okay, I'm comfortable with this. This is like comfort food. I've had this a million times before. Tastes great going down. I kind of know what I'm going to get. I know what the next chapter is going to be. And then the ending hits.
Okay.
And this is where the big left turn comes at you. And this is, I think, I was wondering all along, it's like, wow, why, how is this favorite of the year? And I think when that ending hits, when the ending hit, if I had book 2, I would have picked it up immediately.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, because I think James Islington's story, this whole comfort food story that he sets up 700 pages worth, I think the real story he wants to tell is in the last 15 to 20 pages.
It was kind of a ploy to get you in the door, is what you're saying.
I think he's getting you in there. I think he's giving you a false sense of security. I think he's making you feel like the ground under you is solid. And then with the last 10 or 15 pages, the tide rushes in and all the sands pull out from under your feet, and you realize you've got nothing to stand on. You have nothing that is solid under your feet. And because of that, I think the real story, it's almost hard for me to say how this book hit for me, because I think the real story James Islington has in mind to tell takes off at the last 10 to 15 pages of this book.
Huh. Well, that'll make for an interesting
I can't
talk between you and Jake and everybody.
I cannot wait. I cannot wait to talk with everybody. I mean, you can't fault it for execution. You can't fault it for thought-provokingness. I've got some nitpicks here or there, maybe with. I mean, we'll get into all that when we talk with the big group.
Right.
But what I will say is I made a list of, these are the 10 books I'm absolutely buying day one this year, 2025. And I went to that list with my pen and hand wrote at the bottom of it, strength of the few. Because the day that book comes out, I'm going to pick it up. Because I think James Islington's creative juices and story he truly wants to tell kicks in at the very end, and I can't wait for book 2. So, I mean, it's completely effective in that way, that it makes you want the next book.
Wow. Well, what a week for both of us, man. That's great.
I had a great, I can't, I mean, going all the way through this is like, man, I don't know if it's like, I can't say this is my favorite that I've ever read. But you know what? By the time I read book 2 and 3 and see where this goes to,
then it could be.
It's almost hard to say what it is for me at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too early. Which is a testament to you must have a really smart author if they've hooked you in that well in book one and you feel like it's still too early for me to say how I feel about this series. And yet book two is still going to be a day one buy for you.
He's doing everything he's supposed to do for me as an audience member, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited for book two now. Wrote it on my list. We'll get it day one and read it as quickly as I possibly can. And after that, so this is the buddy read we got going. Yes. And I can't wait to talk to everybody over on Jake's channel. And this is the second book I picked up. This is my first read for June. Now, this is the Quiluminati read for the second quarter of the year.
Yes.
So the Quiluminati is, this was Brian from BellTube's brainchild, and it's Brian Bell, Dr. Philip Chase, Mike from Mike's Book Review, and myself make up this little book club we call ourselves the Quiluminati, and we meet once a quarter. And this was Mike's pick.
So Mike probably won't hate it this time.
Well, he's finished it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is The Stress of Her Regard by Tim Powers. And this was a book that I think he was at a signing with Christopher Rocchio, and they were at a bookstore, and Rocchio grabbed this book off the shelf and said, I'm buying this for you. I want you to read it because it's amazing. So this is why Mike chose this book. And he wrapped up. Go check out Mike's channel to kind of get some early thoughts. He didn't go too deep into it because he's waiting for all of us to get together on his channel and talk about this. And I'm just about 100 pages in. So I've got about 300 pages to go here. But this is a very, very atmospheric, historical fantasy, historical fiction take on vampirism, dealing with the romantic poets of John Keats, Percy Bysshe Shelley, and Lord Byron at Lake Geneva, with Mary Shelley and some other characters, Dr. Polidori, characters thrown in there during that fateful weekend when so many classics were created. And first of all, he's an amazing writer. Like, just what he can do with language and create atmosphere is stunning. Tim Powers is quite the craftsman. And I'm very much enjoying this. Very much, it's definitely a breath of fresh air, and I'm very much enjoying this. We'll see where it goes in the next 300 pages. I read this, I think, like 25 years ago, 25, 30 years ago.
Oh, so you don't really remember anything.
Oh, I have no clue. I mean, this was when I was living in Los Angeles, and I was hanging out at Dangerous Visions, a bookstore that was co-owned by Harlan Ellison. And the owners there that were published authors as well, and Harlan always coming in and out, big signings, people always in there, spent a lot of time in there. And this was a book, and Tim Powers was an author. All of them told me, oh, you have to, this is one you have to read. So I read it back in the day, and it's great to kind of revisit. So having a good time with it so far. We'll see what happens this week when it wraps up.
Lovely. It'll always be a good time hanging out with the Quiluminati. You always like that. Oh,
that's the best.
Yeah.
Absolute best. So, and then after that, I'm going to pick up Gene Wolfe.
Oh, it's time.
It is time. Now, this is another buddy read, and there's so many I'm not even going to try and name them all. I think this time when we get together, we're going to be over on Austin and Richard's channel, To Ramble. And again, I think we'll have Christopher Rocchio, who this inspired him so much, and he's being a Sherpa and leading us up the mountain, because this is there's a lot going on here. Let's just put it that way.
Oh yeah, to someone that is not truly paying attention or doesn't have any help, it could be nearly impossible to understand everything.
Yeah. So as soon as I wrap this up, which should be 3 or 4 days, I'm gonna grab Claw of the Conciliator and do book 2 of the Book of the New Sun here. And that's what I got coming at me this week, man.
Very exciting week ahead as well.
Yeah.
In addition to the week behind.
Some classics.
Yeah.
I mean, classics of the Tim Powers, Gene Wolfe. These are heavy hitters, man. Heavyweights.
I'm really curious how the Claw of the Conciliator will work for you. Because sometimes the Vision Quest, trippy, hard to understand stuff is not your vibe. And I've heard it gets more confusing as it goes. So...
Yeah, you were telling me it goes even further down that rabbit hole than Shadow of the Torturer.
Or Salty or somebody was telling me that Shadow of the Torture is the easiest one to understand in the series.
I mean,
I could be wrong.
The thing here is that the time I'll get to spend with the group afterwards will make it all worthwhile.
Absolutely. I assume it will be a very similar experience to the first one, where everyone read the book and was like, I have no idea what I just read. And then you go into the stream and people like Sam and Rockio explain it, and you're like, I think that's one of my new favorite books of all time. I think that was really good.
I think, or you come in going, I think I have a good idea of what's happening here, and then as the discussion goes on, you're going, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
So,
but either way, you end up going, I know enough that I'm at least excited for book 2, which is how I felt, but I won't be able to join you guys this time.
What's coming up this week? You know.
Do I?
It's the first week of the month. You could do this. I have faith in you.
I think I can. I think it's going to be in everything we read in the month of May.
There you go. And we're going to wrap up May and pick a book of the month. So be ready for that.
That's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Well, will it? I have to look back. No, it's not going to be hard, actually.
Okay.
Maybe for you. But after that, I assume we're doing a book haul.
Here's the thing.
Oh,
I think I'm going to do my book haul.
Okay. All right.
I think we might have to do a very special addendum birthday book haul maybe the following week.
Oh boy, that scares me.
Just for time wise.
How many things did I get?
We don't need to get into it.
I think we do. I
think that's for another day.
All right. Well, I trust you. We'll do whatever works best for timing and such.
So I think that's.
I believe it is. Well, what have you been watching?
Well, you know what? With the con and wrapping up this book, I've watched really nothing this week. I mean, there were some evenings I was like, do I want to watch something? And I was like, no, I kind of want to just grab my book and.
Fair enough.
And read. So, yeah, I didn't catch anything. Now I think I'm not 100% sure, but I think the new Captain America film hit Disney Plus.
That is all you. I am not going to watch
a couple days ago, so I'm going to try and catch that this week. But we are going out of town a little bit, so I'm not quite sure. If that'll happen or not.
I would say if you get the time instead of that. Mickey 17 is on HBO. That might be a better time.
Did you watch that?
I did not. I only noticed it was on there today.
Yeah, I hear not great stuff.
Really?
Now, I know that's one of your favorite directors of all time.
It is.
You need to watch it and let me know.
I will do that. Bong Joon-ho is one of my favorite directors of all time. So I have faith.
So I know you're going to catch it. There's no way you don't watch that.
Yeah, I'll probably watch it this week.
Yeah, so you as soon as you see it, you have to let me know what's up with that, because I've heard different things.
Okay, I will. This past week, I didn't watch much either. I did more reading One Piece, actually. I did finish season 2 of The White Lotus with Amanda. We've been watching that.
And was it as good as season? Because you were sold on season 1.
I liked season 1 better. Now, I don't know if you know this, it's an anthology series, so totally new story, totally new cast. Not entirely separate because one character pops in from before and some things come together. I think as far as the things that I really loved about season 1 were not very present in season 2.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
It's not, but I have to look at season 2 objectively and say that the way that he was able to bring everything together in such a crazy Arrested Development style finisher was, I think season 2 was better crafted. Season 1 just had more crazy characters and hilarious moments that came together that I think you would enjoy, but like I said, I recommended it to you, but if you ever do watch it, I would just stop after season 1. I don't think the rest would be for you.
Okay. All right. That's good to know.
Yeah. And the only other thing of note is that I still have not watched the season finale of Last of Us because I've heard so many bad things and I can't bring myself to do it.
You know what? I'm caught up on, Here's what happened last week. You lost power.
I
So
did.
you weren't here. You weren't here when I talked about my experience of the finale.
I watched it afterward.
You're going to have to watch it, and I can't wait to talk to you after you do.
I'll have to, but I have yet to see one person be like, "Oh, I thought it was great."
It's not great.
Which I was waiting for, because even when the game came out, I feel like you and I were kind of the minority audience. Unless it was like a loud minority on the internet, sometimes that happens. But you and I really liked the game. I think we had some problems with it.
We liked the themes of the game. We liked how the game went. But here's the thing with the game. It's a complete... It doesn't cut off at any point and make you wait for...
Right. And it is a long game.
Or year and a half.
Yeah.
So it's a different animal. And when you adapt it blow for blow, very much the way season 2 has kind of been, I mean, I do think, looking back on the things that worked in season 1, is that there were a lot of things that they took creative license over with, okay, we're still going to tell this story, but at the same time, we're also going to explore these interesting themes about, for those that have watched season 1, like the Henry story, when they were meeting up with Henry and the two brothers. They also spent way more time on like that Fedra run city and all the politics going on there, and you know how humanity politics would work after society has fallen, and all of those different themes that they didn't really take license over season 2 enough, other than just beat by beat going through what happened in the game. Yeah. Well, and then we had that whole episode of Nick Offerman that was just...
Oh, that's brilliant. Like to this day, that's brilliant. Amazing.
Just brilliant TV.
Yeah.
And that's just fleshing out, you know, and then when they got to season 2, I think it's like, well, we have so many story beats we don't want to miss. So we don't have time to really...
See, but I think that was a mistake, because even so, they still only had 7 episodes this season. I think they could have...
Yeah.
They probably could have explored some more interesting things and gone for 10 and maybe be able to wrap some things up a little better. Is it budget?
They just can't? You know, that's the thing.
I don't know.
Like with a budget that large, how many episodes can you put out? I mean, how, you know what I mean? Like how much of a check are you going to get?
Yeah.
You might not be able to do 10.
Yeah.
That just might not be possible. So I don't know. All I can say is the season 2 had some moments for me, but overall, I think it's a definite step down.
Yeah. I hope, I haven't watched the finale, obviously. I hope season 3 is a step back up, but I don't know if I have a lot of faith, just because I know what happens in season 3.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous.
And if they keep going with the story beats, I think a lot of it is some of the most forgettable stuff in the game. So if they stick with it the way they did with season 2, it may not translate well.
Yeah, there were great moments. They're really, truly memorable. I can think of several right now, but
yeah, you
know, just overall. So there you go. We got a chance to talk about it a week late because I lost power. So this week, hopefully, I would like to, if I can, I'd like to get back to Silo. I would like to maybe try that show on Apple Plus with Murderbot. I'd like to give Murderbot a try.
Oh, yeah.
And because that's like, I think they're like half-hour episodes. Even if I could just get a little bit of time, I can try one of those.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Or if I have a little bit more time, I'd like to maybe catch up on the Captain America movie. Just because, who knows?
I surely don't know why you'd want to watch that, personally.
You're not going to catch up?
No, I'm not caught up now. I'm not even sure if I'm going to watch Fantastic Four, and I was originally excited for that.
I don't. It's tough to tell.
You'll see what happens.
Tough to tell.
Although I heard Thunderbolts was good. I'm rambling now.
Yeah, I hear it's fun. So we'll see. We'll find out. I'll catch up on that when it hits. Yeah. All right. Anything else? Or you're good?
I think you're rambling. Good. You know what? I'm going to ramble a little bit longer because I can't not take the opportunity to say it. This book is fantastic. Janie Wirtz is fantastic. However, HarperCollins needs to get on it and make more audiobooks, because it's a problem. We need more audiobooks for the Wars of Light and Shadow.
It is a serious problem.
Yes. This is like the only series I've ever read that has made me want to create art in this world. Like it's made me want to open up Unreal Engine and create art for it, because not enough art for this world exists. And not having audiobooks is a crime. We need audiobooks.
Yeah. I completely agree with you. That's why I repost on Twitter every day. Day by day, we're asking HarperCollins to get on it and make more audiobooks. They have the rights. They could step up and do it at any time.
And they should. They need to. It's time.
And I think that's it for us.
I believe it is. I got nothing else to say.
All right, then.
Stop breaking stuff so I don't have to come fix your mic stand.
Hey,
I'll say that.
You got, seriously, this is an issue because
It looks like
Chully doesn't like stuff leaning on him.
No, look at his eyes. He looks depressed.
Yeah, he's not happy about it.
Yeah,
he's not happy about it at all.
Can see the
So
whole
you're gonna have to schedule
system moving just by you touching that thing.
Oh man, it's an issue.
God.
So you're schedule some time this week.
All right, I will. New mic stand coming soon.
All right. If you're still here, oh my gosh, that means you're book people, and in my book, that makes you the best people. Thanks so much. My name is John Mitten, and that is
Chully. Just Chull. My name's Jakob.
Just Chull.
I'll share my actual name.
I kind of like Chull.
Am I just going to be Chull? Is that going to be one of the new titles in the beginning?
I think that's going to be the
heir apparent.
A new time.
Chull.
Yeah, the Chull of happiness, as opposed to the child of happiness. The Chull of happiness.
That's great. I like it.
I'm running with it. I'm going to run with that like a boy in the field.
Let's do it.
Thanks so much for joining us here on Talking Story.